All right, guys, we are live. It is Sunday, June 8th, 2025, MMAOB Daily Podcast. Second half of today's podcast. It is the UFC Atlanta Preview. And what better guest to have here than Atlanta's own Antoine Willis. And Antoine, it's his birthday. He's 26 today, Antoine. What's up, man? Happy birthday, buddy. How you doing, man?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, man. I'm 26 now. Definitely blessed to be here. It feels pretty crazy to say. Not gonna lie, 4 years away from 30, but of course it's a blessing to have made it this far. Definitely. I want to thank y'all for having me, man. I've been watching y'all for a long time.
I'm almost 40, man. Think about that. So you're me too, bro. You're with Marcel.
Happy birthday, Antoine. Glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Again, I've been watching y'all for a super long time, so it's just a blessing to finally be here. Actually, like y'all hear my voice. That
Antoine, you there? Is he cutting out for you a little bit, Marcel, or no?
So, fact that I'm on 26 now. It feels great just to finally be here to talk to y'all.
No problem. Is he cutting out for you, Marcel, or no?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's okay. Well, are you on your phone or your computer?
Hold on, let me use my phone.
It's lagging a little bit, but we'll try our best here. We'll make do.
I was on my computer. Got you. No You're fine. Give me 2 seconds. 1 sec. Give me 2 seconds.
No problem, man. No worries. I'll get the comments in 1 sec, guys. I just wanted to fix this thing with Antoine. But yeah, we had to get a guy from Atlanta on to preview the card. I'm assuming you're going to be at the card. You're going, Antoine? Is he there?
I think he's switching to his mobile phone.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure what happened there. No worries. We'll figure this out. We just started, so it's all good. Better now than halfway through. Okay, let me get some comments. Glad you've given us a try to Antoine. Yeah, I mean, you guys used to have a podcast, didn't you, Paul? I can't remember what happened to it. Here he's back.
There it is.
You there?
Hey, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah. I think this is a little better. I don't know what happened there. It was a connection issue for sure. Craig wanted to say happy birthday. Our boy Marcus is going to be there. He's from Marcus. What city are you in again? You're not in Atlanta, right? You're outside of it. Antoine, you're actually in Atlanta, right? Or
yes, I am. Absolutely. I stay downtown. I'm like literally a 6-minute walk from the arena. So it's pretty cool. Absolutely.
You're going, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I already got my tickets. I'm in like a 200 section.
Nice.
So I'm in the nosebleed, just get to see it from a good angle. I got 100 sections like for pay-per-views and stuff like that.
Sure.
But like certain angles are awkward because you gotta you'll be looking through the cage instead of like over into the cage sometimes. So I really just wanted to just kind of chill out and be up in the nosebleeds this time. And it's really cool. Just the fact they're down here, I still honestly can't believe that shit.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's been like 6 years. The last time they came, and the last time they did come, we did have a fight of the year. So I think it's a good luck charm that they are here finally. And I will say this, because obviously you see the demographic of fighters that are on here. It's a lot of black fighters. Indeed, it is what it is. Absolutely, you already know what it is. But I'm saying because I hope that if the card can actually deliver and sell out like that, I do hope they can make us an annual location. So that's really what I'm betting on. Hopefully, most definitely. But thank y'all again for having me. Just want to make sure everything sounds good. I know
everything's good. Marcel, it's better now, I would say.
Yeah,
much better. I don't know what happened before. It's much better. Couple of comments. Here we go, boys. Glad to have you here. Move limit break. He said Antoine's a great addition. Absolutely. Paul was talking about, it's hard to make the time zones work for sure. Marcel, I appreciate Marcel. It's, what is it, 3 a.m. there or 2 a.m.? What time is it, Marcel?
3.
3. Well, you're up all night. Marcel's up till what time do you usually go to bed? 6 a.m. usually?
Around 6, yeah.
Yeah. Justin, he says, what's the best rapper? It's got to be Killer Mike, or is there someone else I'm forgetting?
Oh, from Atlanta? I mean, man, it's a whole list. If you want to talk modern age, you could go Young Thug or Future or 2 Chainz. Or if you want to, the most notable ones, of course, Andre 3000 of Outkast. You could definitely say him for sure. Just given he's actually, I'm pretty sure he actually has a Grammy. Andre 3000.
Oh yeah.
If not, Yeah, like he's probably the most well known given like I think he's probably the most artistic value coming out of Atlanta. Songs like Hey Ya,
Oh yeah,
even collaborations with like international players and film with
oh yeah.
UGK, stuff like
Augusta's
that. So
great, man.
hell yeah, nah, any dudes coming out of the South, I'll always support. But if I had to say Atlanta, probably Andre 3000. I think it's the most artistic dude. But if we're counting people who were born here, Kanye West was
Okay,
born in Atlanta. I know he claims Chicago, but he was born in Atlanta. So
okay.
in terms of the most like artistic rapper born here, you could definitely say like Kanye. But in terms of the one that reps here, I'll forever say Andre 3000
There
from
you go.
Atlanta.
Totally fair, man. Let's get into the card, guys. Yeah, I think we got 13. Me and Marcel were just talking about before you jumped on 13 fights, Antoine. So
Mhm.
they added a couple fights late. Obviously, the Malcolm Wellmaker fight with Kris Moutinho, that was the late addition.
Mhm.
Let me get your guys' thoughts really quick, just really quick here. What do you guys think of the card going in? I'll start with you, Marcel. What do you think of this card? You like it?
I think it's a pretty decent card, man. It looks pretty good. I think some prelims could be on the main card, but to be really honest, some fights on the main card could be on the prelim. So it's like a typical UFC where they don't really go with the order I would think they would go. But yeah, it's a good card, man. And there are some locals on this card, which is always good, you know. And yeah, I like it. I think it's a good card.
What do you think, Antoine? Really quick, like overall, do you like the card?
Nah, I agree absolutely. Yeah, we got two Georgian natives on it with Malcolm Wellmaker, and Cody Durden. Absolutely, Malcolm's from Augusta and Cody is from Covington. So the fact we got actually two people fighting out of Atlanta on this card, I can't believe that honestly. So I'm honestly that's enough for me, and I like it overall. It has really good prelims. So the main card for me is honestly good every single fight onwards. I know some people are kind of suspect about the co-main event, but Rose is one of my favorite fighters, so I really like it. It generally has good stylistic matchups for Atlanta, and I like the way they did the bout order. I think it's gonna rise and fall in a really good way, especially into the main event with Usman and Buckley for sure.
All right, let's stop wasting time. Let's get into the card, guys. Start at the first fight and work our way up. You guys know the drill. Let's go with the first fight here, and we have a women's flyweight bout. Vanessa Demopoulos stepping on a short notice here, replacing Teresa Bleda, taking on Jamey-Lyn Horth, the Canadian. And Jamey-Lyn is a big favorite in this fight, guys. Minus 450, Vanessa plus 350. I'll just say this right now. I'm taking the Canadian, not because she's Canadian, because I was going to take Teresa Bleda, but I just like Horth in this matchup. Like, Demopoulos is typically a straw weight. I think she's going to be way too small. She's tiny, guys. She really is. Um,
Mhm.
Huge reach advantage, huge height advantage, strength advantage, wrestling advantage. I think Horth has her covered really in this fight. Like Vanessa might be able to strike her if she keeps standing, but I don't think she will be able to. And I think like if she gets taken out and held in her back for 50 minutes, even the judges can't, rip Horth off in this one, even though they love Demopoulos. So I think this is an easy pick. I'm taking Jamey-Lyn Horth to win a decision. I wish the odds were smaller. I'll just say that. I'm a little surprised by minus 450, but I think she wins. So I was hoping for like minus 200. Got to pay minus 450, but I think she wins for sure. I'll go with you next, Marcel. We'll close out with Antoine. So Marcel, you've seen pick?
I mean, unless Jamey-Lyn Horth becomes Bea Malecki and Vanessa Demopoulos becomes Josiane Nunes, which is not going to happen. I also think she has a big disadvantage in the strength and in height, you know.
Yeah.
I think will play a big factor in this fight. Horth was training for this one. Demopoulos takes it on short notice, weight class up.
Yeah.
And also against a girl who is pretty long for 125. I think she's not small. And Vanessa is actually already kind of small for 115. So I think it will be a massive disadvantage for her, big advantage for Horth. I think Horth wins, probably a decision. Makes sense to put this as the first one on the prelims, I think. So yeah.
You got the same pick as us, Antoine?
Yeah, it's gonna be a clean sweep. I like what you said there at the end, Marcel. Yeah, I guess you're trying to kind of get it out the way early, maybe if you could say, of course, always respecting the ladies. So, yeah, I do have Jamey-Lyn Horth as well. I think it's really due to her size. I think she's gonna really play the game real well, implement her game plan. I feel like she's gonna come in and just really take her down. Use that wrestling. Vanessa, I like her personality, of course. She's always jumping into
You think she's a hot? Let's be honest. You do.
for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Atlanta. Another thing about the city of Atlanta, of course, we're notorious for our strip clubs. You feel me? And I know that. I mean, at one point, she was, of course, an exotic dancer. All respect to her. Getting her money. She's a professional athlete now. So, I always got love for any lady, going up and down the pole. You feel me? But I think that in this fight, I do think that Horth's gonna come out really implement the wrestling and like the size advantage. Is gonna be too much for Vanessa. Even on the feet, I think it's gonna be an issue. With the reach advantage with Jamie, it's like 66 to 59. So she's just really undersized in this matchup. And I'll always forever say, you see me in the chat. I wish we had an atom weight division for girls like her, so we wouldn't have to try to fight girls up this with this kind of size disparity. So I got Jamey-Lyn Horth by a decision, just like you boys. Well, stuff.
There you go. I forgot to change my background. I now got the right background here, Marcel. So, yeah, we have this. we have a
me
clean
too.
sweep.
Me too.
I don't know what the hell it's. We forgot to change our backgrounds here. I don't know what happened. My apologies, guys. We were asleep at the wheel, as they say. So we got it all fixed up. But yeah, we have a clean sweep here, and no surprise really. But yeah, it's one of the strip clubs. James Harden's always there, right? What's the other guy's name? Who's the guy he used to play for the Raptors? Six man, Lou Williams. Sweet Lou.
Lou Williams.
Yeah.
Magic City. Absolutely.
Yeah, remember during COVID he snuck out and had some wings apparently. Remember that story? He snuck out for some wings and some strippers.
I mean,
No, I
you
like Lou.
can't turn down the lemon peppers. They're addictive. You feel me? You
Fuck
gotta
yeah,
have
man.
them.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We got we're all fixed up with our backgrounds. Let's go to the next fight here. We got Phil Rowe taking on Ange, and the odds for this one have Ange minus 140, Phil Rowe plus 120. Marcel, I'll start with you this time. Who do you think wins?
Yeah, it's a difficult fight, man, to pick, to be really honest, man. If you look at Phil Rowe's last couple of fights, the Magny fight was pretty close. He lost that one. The Jake Matthew fights, he didn't look good, in my opinion. And he lost that one. He won against Nico Price before that. I was on a good streak, actually, before those two losses. The Magny fight. Listen, it's actually funny because if he wins the Magny fight, he's in the top 15, right? So, because Magny back then was in the top 15. If you look at Ange Loosa had a pretty decent start, I think, in the UFC. He had that fight against Jack Della where he looked pretty decent. But
Well, that was a contender series. That wasn't UFC.
Yeah, I was working through that, Adam. Give me some time.
My apologies. You did say in the UFC, though, to be fair.
Yeah, okay. Then he had his debut in the UFC against Munir Lazes. I didn't think he looked great in that one. He won two in a row. After that, he had a crazy, I remember some crazy fight with Reese McGee, where they go back and forth. But he hasn't looked good, man, as of lately, to be really honest, The Brian Battle fight, he looked bad in that fight, and it wasn't no contest, but he was going to lose that fight probably, and the Gabriel Bonfim fight wasn't also good. So, for me, it's like kind of 50-50. I see this going to a close decision. I'm picking Phil Rowe, so I'm picking the underdog here, but I think it's a dog or pass fight, this one.
Anton, are you taking the Fresh Prince? You're going to take the Last Ninja.
Man, it's a close one. I do agree with what Marcel said. Me personally, I was feeling Ange Loosa in this one a little bit. I just really like the way he closed the distance with his boxing to work in his wrestling like that. I think with the Reese McGee fight, first off, that was an amazing fight. I picked Reese McGee to win that. And of course, he was looking bad in rounds 1 and 2, but he came back in the third round, which does show you that Loosa can go pretty good all 3 rounds until, of course, in the third, due to his wrestling style, he'll definitely start to deteriorate with his gas tank come that third round. But I think with this matchup in particular, I think he can really impose his will physically. Yeah, Phil Rowe is taller and he's longer, but I think with that slender body like that, I think that Ange Loosa can at least make it a boring fight. God forbid, but hopefully he can at least get him up against the cage with his wrestling. Use his clinch, anything like that. Try to work him down to the ground. I think that's really my main course to victory for Ange Loosa in this fight. I think he's gonna really try to use his wrestling to get the victory. He's younger than Phil Rowe at 31 to 34, almost 35 years old for Phil Rowe. But of course, Phil Rowe has the size advantage while Ange Loosa is younger. I do think that, like I said, the wrestling is going to be the key factor for Ange Loosa in this one. I think he's not afraid to strike with this guy. He's really durable. The Brian Battle fight obviously threw a lot of people off, in terms of him being a quitter or anything like that. But I think he's going to come out here and try to get a good performance. We know he struggled his last 2 fights, so I definitely think he wants to come out here with a good performance. So I think he'll be more aggressive. And I definitely think he can impose his will with the wrestling. So I was going to go with Ange Loosa via decision. He's really durable. I don't think he'll get knocked out by Phil Rowe or nothing like that. So I think he can weather the damage, get the control time, and get the victory.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a close one. I mean, no doubt. The line is flipped, which the odds makers opened Rowe as a small favorite yesterday. These odds came out really like late for some reason. This fight's been, I think Marcel broke the fight, like Cole broke the fight, Marcel, you and Phil, like 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Close one. I mean, like, I'm looking at the stats right now, and like, I didn't realize Rowe's takedown defense was like really bad. It's like 56%, so that's a problem. But I got to be honest, like coming into this, I was planning on picking Rowe by decision. I'm just gonna stick with my pick, but I got to be honest, like Antoine made some really good points about like just Angelo imposing his will and wrestling him and closing the distance. Like, I think this fight's going to be close. It's going to go the distance most likely. I'm just going to take Phil because of the size advantage, but it can go either way. It really can. I don't have anger assist in the bet, but we do have another dog, or a dog for me and a dog for Marcel. It's not a consensus dog, though, because we don't have all three of us. So, yeah, it's going to be a close fight. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. And this one is, man, this is a bit of a banger here, to be honest with you guys. I'm really looking forward to this fight. We have a bantamweight bout between the Canadian Charles Jourdain and Ricky Simon. Fun fight here on 135 pounds. The odds for this one have Ricky Simon minus 160, Jourdain plus 140. Marcel, I'll start with you again. Your pick.
So I'll try to say it the right way. Charles Jourdain. Yeah, he's fighting Ricky Simon. I think it's a fun fight, good match.
It's a great fight.
Ricky comes off of that great knockout win over Javid Basharat last time. He was on a bad skid, and I was like, probably he's not going to come back anymore, you know. And then he kind of surprised. I think it was in Seattle earlier this year. Charles Jourdain got that win over Victor Henry last time. Before that, also some losses. It's a really difficult fight to pick, in my opinion. Although I think Simone is more. How do you say that? He's more. He can be very. You see, now I cannot find the word. What I want to say. He can maybe be dominant on the ground. You know, more dominant, because I think Charles Jourdain. He showed his improvements on the ground as well, but I still think that he prefers to keep it striking. Ricky, with the grappling, can win the fight. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm going with Ricky. He's the favorite, I think.
Well, he's
right?
favorite, yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking him by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Charles wins.
Antoine, what do you think?
I was gonna go with Ricky Simon for the second round submission in this fight. I think he can actually be aggressive with the wrestling to the point where like just come out really blasting with it, be so aggressive to the point where if he gets him on the ground, I think he can submit him. We've seen Jourdain submit it before, and I think with Simon's aggressiveness and his top pressure in particular, I think he'll really chase a submission rather than just try to hold him down and stuff. So I think he can actually get a second round submission in this fight for Ricky Simon.
Marcel, do you even have to ask me who's going to win the fight?
Excuse me?
Do you even have to ask me who's going to win?
Yeah, who's going to win this fight?
I'm taking Ricky Simon too.
Okay, nice.
I'm going against my Canadian. I'm taking Horth. I'm not taking Charles. And this fight should have been in Montreal. What the fuck is going on? Why did they... Antoine, this fight makes no sense. Neither of them are black, and one of them is Canadian. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
This is a weird fight. This could have been in the Apex. It doesn't really make sense in the card, but it is a good fight. I'll say that. But I kind of agree with you guys. Like, I love Charles. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a fun fighter to watch. I do like him at 135. I think it's obviously a better decision than fighting guys like Jean Silva and Sean Woods, who are massive. But I don't know, man. Ricky, I think, if you look at the losing streak, like he lost to Vinicius Oliveira, who's really fucking good prospect, Bar Batista, who's a really good fighter who, like, could be like top 5 in the division, and Song Yudong, who's I think top 5. So it wasn't that bad of a losing streak when you kind of look back at it. At the time, people were surprised, but looking back, not so bad. And then obviously just destroys Javid Basharat in his last fight. Like, a little bit fluky, I would say, but still knocked him out. And then obviously what he did before that, he's very impressive. So love Charles. I mean, he's going to hate me, Marcel, for picking against the Canadian, but I got to go with the 51st state here, or the 50th state. Let's go with the Washington native and take Ricky Simon. I say decision, personally. I think it'll be a competitive fight, but I think he'll be able to like get some takedowns. Charles, what's his takedown defense? I don't think it's good. 47%. It's bad. It's bad, guys. So Ricky can exploit that, and even on the feet, he'll be competitive too. So I think if Charles wants to win this fight, I think he actually has to finish the fight, because I think if it goes the distance, I don't like it for him. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope Charles wins. I really do, but I think Ricky probably gets the decision in this fight. So there's my pick in that one. All right, guys, we'll go to the next fight here, and we have another Atlanta native here, Marcel or Atlanta. Antoine, I called you Atlanta. Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa. Odds of this one have Durden is, let's see here. Oh, sorry, Ochoa is the favorite, minus 190, and Durden plus 160. I'll start with you, Antoine. What do you think?
I mean, hey man, I'm never one to be biased or anything like that, of course. But I was gonna go with Cody Durden.
As an underdog, there you go, Marcel. Hit the button.
The dogs are barking this time around for me, at least. I do think Cody can get this done with the rest, and I get it. The loss for Bruno Silva definitely doesn't look good right now, especially after what he's been going through recently. But he was
Sure.
looking good in that fight before he just got clipped with the uppercut and he got put away. So I think that was really more due to exhaustion rather than his chin and stuff like that. We know with this wrestling, he's a real wrestle heavy type of fighter. So I think in the third round it was really more due to his exhaustion that he really got knocked out like that. He's always been fairly durable. He has really good boxing himself, but of course, really just uses it to really set up the wrestling like that. And I think he can get the control time over Ochoa. Also has a lot more experience with his record, 17 wins and 7 losses compared to only 8 fights for Jose. Of course, he's taking more damage in that time, but he also has picked up more experience as well. And like I said, my man's from Atlanta, so I can't act like when he's making the walk, I'm gonna be screaming hard as hell for Cody Durden. So I gotta pick Cody for sure. I was gonna go with Cody via decision to win this fight.
Marcel?
Yeah, the thing is, I like Cody Durden a lot, but at the same time, I don't think he looked that great in the last couple of fights. He got only 1 win in his last 4, and he won against Match Snell. And can I really rate the win over Match Snell anymore? I don't know, man. If you look at Jose Ochoa, he lost his UFC debut against Lonnie Kavanaugh. But he looked good in that fight, I think. He lost the fight, but he looked pretty decent in that fight. I think Ochoa can win here, man. I think the odds are right. So yeah, listen. I like Cody a lot, to be honest. I think he's a great guy, but I'm picking Ochoa here. I think he wins the decision.
I'm with Marcel on this one. I think it'll be, again, a competitive fight. I don't love the odds. I don't think this guy probably should be this much in favor in his second fight against the guy with as much experience of Cody. But at the same time, I think he looked really good in his debut against Lonnie Kavanaugh. That's a really good prospect who's going to be ranked really soon. I don't think there's too much to take away from that negatively. If Cody gets takedowns, that's how he wins this fight. If he can wrestle this guy, but I don't know. I'm not convinced if he can. And on the feet, I think that this dude's going to piece him up. Competitive fight decision, but I'm going to go with Jose Ochoa. So same pick as Marcel. Sorry, Antoine. We're going to get a consensus dog. We're going to get one tonight, guys, but it won't be this fight. So we'll get one soon. But yeah, I'm going to go with the same pick. Marcel, let's go to the next fight. You guys, give me your thoughts on this one. Holy shit, look at these odds. Atlanta's own Malcolm Wellmaker against Kris Moutinho, the green-haired goblin making his return to the UFC. Oh, boy. Minus 1,300 on Malcolm, plus 775 on Kris. I'll start with you, Antoine. Thoughts?
I mean, I want to give a shout out to Kris Moutinho for allowing Malcolm Wellmaker to be on this card. Obviously, we know that what this is for. No disrespect to him, but I think they're trying to strap Malcolm Wellmaker to a rocket, and I think that can really go off with the win in this fight. Now, this would be the second time he would get a knockout in front of a crowd. I'd be shocked if we see them put him in an Apex card. Of course, if you take a couple losses, that could happen, but I say all that to say I do think that Michael Wellmaker does have a lot of potential. I wanted to ask you both actually, because I'm always asking this in the chat about the older fighters making their debuts and stuff like that. He just turned 31 years old. To get it out the way, I'm gonna pick him. First round knockout. I do think it's gonna happen. The first couple exchanges, I think he's gonna land a punch. If Cameron Simon only landed that was a first round KO too. Yeah. I think that he could get Kris Moutinho out probably in a good minute and a half, minute 30. So just off the power he possesses, not disrespecting Kris Moutinho. So I wanted to know, how do y'all feel about Malcolm coming in at this age, at 31, and obviously these 2 wins won't be that highly rated, but do you think at his age he can still chase something in the bantamweight division with how stacked it is right now?
It's stacked. I mean, but he's good, right? So the fact that they had to get him on this card, I'm really glad that the fight finally got booked. And like you said, credit to Kris for stepping up. He's not the first guy that you thought would get the phone call, but like apparently that's what Dan Levy said. 3 other guys turned him down. I think Bernardo Sarpai was one of the guys that turned him down. I think that's out there, Marcel. That was kind of reported. I saw that on Twitter. So that was one of the guys, some speculation. I don't know who else turned him down, but some people didn't want to fight this guy. I don't blame him because he's really good. So yeah, I think he's kind of like, in his prime and I think he looked amazing in his debut. And the crazy thing was, like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like really close odds. It was like minus 150 or something, maybe less. Now he's minus 1,300. I don't like the odds. I'm going to say that right now. It's kind of like crazy to me because Kris has looked. I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched his last few fights. He's won 5 straight fights against lower ranked guys, but he has, and he worked his way back to the UFC. He does have UFC experience. He did go toe-to-toe with Sean O'Malley at one point, and then got destroyed by Guido Canetti of all people. But everyone thinks this guy sucks. They think his chin is bad. They think that he's a scrub. Maybe he is, but I like the guy. I think that he's a warrior because he takes fights that no one else will take. So I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm hoping he wins. I'm hoping Kris wins, but he's gonna get fucking destroyed. He's gonna lose in the first round by knockout. I'm just hoping that somehow. I know Malcolm's your guy, but I like Kris a lot, man. I think he's got a lot of heart, and I'm just kind of secretly hoping he can like survive a first round beating and then come back and win or something. So I'm taking Wellmaker though by knockout, like everyone else. Marcel, I'm assuming you're gonna take Malcolm by knockout.
Yeah, in Atlanta they don't like no scrubs. So I mean,
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, to be really honest, I have nothing against Kris Moutinho, but it's a fight made for Malcolm Wellmaker.
It's a showcase fight.
Yeah, showcase fight pretty much. And listen, man, it sucks that so many guys turn him down. And I think I understand on the other side because he is pretty much he's undefeated. He's 1-0 in the UFC. If you lose to him, you add to his hype, but if you win against him, people will say, "Oh, he was just 1-0," so who cares? So there is like a high risk, low reward pretty much against him, but it sucks, I think Wellmaker is a really fun fighter to watch. And dude is 31, looks like fucking 22. He looks fucking young. And I mean, I was really impressed what he showed against Bramholt in Dana White Contender Series, and I was also impressed against Simon. And I think he also finishes Kris in the first round. I'd be shocked if that not happened, to be really honest. So, yeah, for me, Malcolm Wellmaker. And I think I'd be surprised if not. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if they have the over-under. I don't know if it's out yet, but, like, let me check. I mean, I think they could set this at under half a round. I know that's crazy, but, like, I think most people would probably take the under. It's crazy it sounds. Let me check if there's go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, and now also excuse me for interrupting. First and foremost,
that's okay. I don't see the under, by the way. But I think it could be set at half a round. Go ahead. It's okay. No worries.
With Malcolm being 31, how many fights do you think before they really push him up the ladder if he keeps getting highlight real KOs?
Probably like this one, and then like maybe 1 or 2 more. I would think. Like usually their first contract's 4 fights, but they renegotiate after the 3rd fight, right, Marcel? Is that how it works usually?
Yeah,
normally. So they'll probably give him. Yeah, they'll probably give him like 1 more fight, like against someone who's okay, and then they'll give him a new contract. Then he'll have to fight someone ranked. But you're right. I mean, it's a good point. He is 31. He's not 23, like some people think. And it's understandable why you'd think that. But this guy, he fought in the regional scene for several years, and now he's here. But I think he's really good. So I like him a lot, and I think he wins this fight. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. Battle of veterans on the opposite end of the spectrum. Kind of 2 guys that are at the end of their career, Michael Chiesa and Court McGee. I mean, I think. The loser probably retires, and maybe both guys retire. Like, I think, I like both guys a lot. They're warriors, but like they're really long in the tooth. Michael Chiesa, though, is a big favorite, minus 350. Court McGee, the Crusher, plus 285. Mad respect to these guys, 2 Ultimate Fighter winners from years ago, going at it. I think it'll be a decent fight. I got to be honest. I thought it'd be on the main card just because Chiesa's got
It was first, but they switched it with Edmen against Petrosky.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw that. But I thought it should have been on the main card just because Chiesa is such a big name. But I guess they think it's going to be a grinding type fight, and it probably will be. Let's be honest, guys. This is probably going to be like a grappling heavy decision, probably type of fight. I'm taking Michael Chiesa. I think he's just he's a little bit younger, more experienced. I think he probably will be able to get takedowns. Let me see what Court's takedown defense is. 69% is not great. I like Court a lot. Don't get me wrong. He's a fucking warrior. The guy's story is amazing. But I think Chiesa, he's looked really good lately against some older guys, but still really good. And I think he gets him down. Like maybe Chiesa could sub him, but I think it's been a while since Court's been subbed. Has he ever even been subbed? I don't even know if he has. To be honest with you, he's tough as hell. Yeah, Chiesa by decision. I'm not going to overthink it. Chiesa decision. What do you guys think? Let's start with you, Antoine. Agree?
Yeah, man, I was gonna go with Michael Chiesa as well. Just think he has the youth on his side, even just being 37, being 3 years younger. I think he showcased more athleticism in his last few fights than Court McGee has. A little bit more durability than Court McGee as well. I got a lot of respect for Court, absolutely. Of course, putting the Ultimate Fighter, like you said. But I was gonna go with Chiesa. To win this fight via decision. And the last thing I will say, I think it's pretty cool. You mentioned how you want tough. I told you I first started watching UFC in 2011, 2012, that year. That was the Ultimate Fighter live season, and Michael Chiesa was on that season. I think that was Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber
Yeah.
were the coaches that year. And then Michael Chiesa, like his dad dies or in like the second episode or something like that, and then he
Yes.
goes on to win the show.
Yeah.
So it was just really crazy to see that happen, kind of like a movie, but it wasn't scripted. So just had to give that shout out to Chiesa. That's why I always respect him. And I was gonna go with Chiesa to win via decision.
Marcel, you're going to make it a clean sweep, Chiesa by decision?
Yeah, man, it's an interesting fight. Two Ultimate Fighter winners, two veterans. I really like both. At the same time, I never really liked two men who can grow a better beard than me. So I'm kind of. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm picking Chiesa here as well, man. I see more upside in picking him. I think he will make it grappling heavy. We know McGee can also fight. His grappling is also pretty decent, but I think Chiesa will have more. How do you say that? More success in 3 rounds. So
Yeah.
I think it goes to the scorecards and Chiesa wins.
There you go, clean sweep there. All right, let's go to the next fight here. This is the headliner of the prelims. It's a rebooking. Paul Craig taking on Rodolfo Bellato. This fight was supposed to happen last month, and Bellato pulled out with herpes, of all things. It gets rebooked here. The odds actually went down, so I guess because he had herpes, people are like a little shy on him now, but he's still a big favorite. He's still minus 350. Paul Craig, plus 285, the Scottish Warrior. I mean, listen, I love Paul Craig, but I think it's probably knocked out here. I just don't want anything to do with this fight as far as from betting perspective. Minus 350 on a guy that Bellato was kind of unproven in the UFC. Let's be honest. He was getting his ass kicked by, what's that guy's name? Ihor Bateria, comes back and wins. And then even Jimmy Crute was kicking his ass, came back and drawed. I don't know how good this guy really is. I got to be honest with you guys, But Paul's durability is just so questionable. His chin is just so questionable to me. I can't pick him. I never pick him to win, but he's won a lot of fights. So, respect to this guy, man. You talk about a bonus hunter, and Paul's right there. So I can't pick him, but I wouldn't be completely shocked if he did win this fight. I'll say that right now. I think he has a chance to submit this guy if he gets them to the ground. But probably Bellato knocks him out. Antoine, you agree?
Yeah, for me, it's just like I don't know how Paul Craig's gonna really approach this fight. Like, how's he really gonna try to like? Is he gonna try to strike with him out in the open? I think that's really the fight's not gonna last long if he tries that. So what is he gonna try to implement like new wrestling that we haven't really seen from Paul Craig like that? Is he gonna come out and try to pull guard? I just really don't know how he's gonna really try to approach this fight. I think it's a hard fight for him all around, and I think Bellato's gonna be prepared for really Paul Craig's only route to victory, in my opinion, which is the ground. So I think that Bellato's just gonna really have a smart game plan, like really avoid the ground at all costs. He might try to prove a point and get a ground and pound KO, anything like that, but I think that Bellato keeps it standing with with a smart game plan from his corner, and I think he'll get a second round knockout. I think Paul Craig has a lot of experience to survive the first round. Try to work something, maybe try to get some takedowns, like change some wrestling here and there. But I think that eventually he'll gas out. Just being older that he is now, he's going back up to 205 because the 185 weight cut was getting too difficult. So I do think that Bellato has the youth on his side in this fight. And I think it's just a bad matchup for Paul Craig. So I was going to go with Bellato to win, be a first, not a second round knockout for Bellato.
Marcel, you agree?
Yeah, man, unless Bellato was fucking stupid and he follows Paul to the ground, he should be able to knock him out by but with a good punch,
Yeah.
I think he wins. So I'm going with the first round knockout.
Yeah, there's a
Sorry.
big age gap, like Antoine mentioned. It's like 9 years, like almost 10 years. So usually that person will win.
Adam didn't call it, Antoine. You did. He did.
What'd you say? I missed it.
I said he got it. I said he's going to knock him out with herpes. I'm sorry, with punch.
My bad. That's funny. All right, let's go to the main card here, Antoine. This fight makes sense for Atlanta, right, Antoine? You got two black dudes going against each other, right, to open the card and to end the card too. So there you go. Alonzo Menifield,
two massive black men, right? Mm-hmm.
You're gonna love this one. I think this fight doesn't go the distance. I'll say that right now. Oumar. Sorry, look at these odds. Holy shit, -600. Alonzo Menifield +425. That seems kind of crazy to me, guys. I don't know what you guys think. Like, I don't know. Like, these odds seem fucking crazy. I didn't realize it was that big of a spread. I just saw it right now. Like, Alonzo has how many fights in the UFC? Like 15 fights? Jesus. Oumar has what, one fight? Yeah, two fights. He didn't look great against Dawoon Jung, in my opinion, either. I mean, he won, but it wasn't like a great performance. I mean, he is undefeated, 11-0. He's a specimen, huge guy for this division, huge reach advantage in this fight, huge height advantage. Like, he's just a beast. He's all the advantages, but except for experience, right? So that's where it's a little tricky. I'm taking C by knockout, but like, these odds are fucked. Are you kidding? -625. This is crazy. Like, Alonzo Menifield can win this fight. Alonzo is a very big, powerful puncher. He's won as an underdog a bunch of times in the UFC. What do you think, Marcel?
Stop complaining, dude. You're picking him by knockout, and you're complaining about the odds.
I think that's the most likely outcome, but like -625, no.
I'm picking C as well, but I think he wins by wall and stall, probably decision. Okay. He's gonna frustrate Menifield, grind on him the whole damn time like he does normally. Listen, C is a good talent, but that's the way he fights a lot of times, and it's the most. It's the best option to get the less damage against Menifield, because Menifield can crack. We all know that, So I think C will try to get him to the ground. I know Menifield can wrestle as well, but at the same time, I think C is stronger. So for me, Oumar C by decision. I don't think will be a great fight. If there's going to be a great fight, then it's probably going to have to come from Menifield, I think. So, yeah.
I think Menifield has a puncher's chance here. Antoine, sure. +425. You taking a shot on this guy or no?
Nah, man, I'm not really feeling that bold tonight. I do think I'm gonna bet on the potential with Oumar. See, I like what both of you said. He hasn't really looked too incredible. Not so much so that like it would indicate these odds right here. Even on Tapology, this is like a -480. I do think that's pretty astronomical for some of the things he's done inside the UFC right now. It was pretty cool when he went over to Paris. He got a huge pop. Cool to see, like, he's already super popular like that over there, so they already got their guy for the future. Well, hopefully he starts to put on entertaining fights so he can become that guy for them. But I do think that Oumar C can win this fight. I do like what Marcel said. I think he's going to really prioritize the victory, especially when he sees the power that Alonzo has. I think he's really going to try to just close the distance, wrestle him like that. Especially when it hits round 2 and 3. I think for outside of that, I definitely think he'll try to get the wrestling going in 2 and 3 because like Alonzo's going to really be at his most dangerous in the first round, of course, being at his absolute fresh. I think he'll weather that early storm and just get the grappling going rounds 2 and 3 and get the decision. And that's it.
Here we go. All right, we have the same pick. I just think the odds are really elevated. What were you going to say, Marcel? Sorry.
By the way, a fun story about Alonzo. When I posted back in the earlier, like a couple of years ago, I did on Instagram. I always do like the profile, the notable wins and stuff, but also the Twitter. But with the Twitter, I still had the ad before. So instead of the Twitter, it linked like the Instagram ad, which I didn't want it to, but it did it automatically. And Alonso's Instagram was different. I photo tag it always, but his Twitter, he also had an older Instagram account, which was the same as his Twitter handle. So when you click on that one, you go to his old Instagram account where it was like pictures of him when he was like 16 or 17. and someone said like, dude, someone phoned to Alonso, someone found your old Instagram account. He was like, dude, what the fuck? How did he find this? But it was just like an accident. That was fun.
That's funny. I got to meet Alonzo once a couple years ago when I was at UFC 290. me and my friend were walking through New York, and he was right there with his wife. I was like, yo, that's Alonzo Menifield. My boy is like, he's not a journalist, he's just a fan. So I'm like, let's go say hi to him. We talked to him for like 5 minutes. He was super cool. That's when he fought Jimmy Crute, and he beat Jimmy Crute as an underdog. We were both like, how are you an underdog against Jimmy Crute? And he obviously won that fight. So I like Alonzo a lot. He's a really good dude. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We got one of Marcel's. Actually, no. We have one of Marcel's favorite fighters here, Cody Brundage, taking on Mansur Abdul-Malik. And Mansur is a huge favorite, minus 725, plus 525 on Cody. Marcel, are you going to take Cody to win by DQ in this one, man? What do you think?
Cody's going to win, dude. No, I know
Are you?
he will. Bro, I mean, Nick Klein knocked down Mansur Abdul-Malik and almost finished him, you know? I'm willing to take the risk on Brundage in this one.
Hit the button. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, you know?
Holy shit. Yes, he's doing it.
I mean, Abdul-Malik should win normally this fight. I know. I'm going to take the gamble, you know, and I'm maybe a little bit biased, you know. I love Cody.
Yeah, I would say so.
A lot of people hate always on Cody. Guy's an amazing guy, real family man, you know,
Sure.
good dude. Besides that, I think Abdul-Malik normally should be able to win this fight. Fuck it, I take Cody, and you get this one for free from me, Adam. You can get one. You can walk one in on me in this one. I don't care. You know, I'm picking Cody. I have to stand with Cody in this one.
I mean, it's just like he's got a chance. Like, especially if like he gets his ass kicked and then he gets hit in the back of the head and then he wins by DQ again. Like, I think that's possible. I think Mansur just dominates him, man. Honestly, like I know you hate to hear it, Marcel, but I think I agree with you. Like that Nick Klein fight was kind of sketch, but he still ended up winning. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take Mansur. He's looked great for the most part, dominant, beating everyone up. But he is kind of a front runner. And like, what happens here if like, you know, you can't get that takedown, get the ground and pound going? I don't know. Mansur by knockout is my pick. Antoine, I'm assuming you have the same pick as me, or are you're gonna be bold here?
Nah, man. I think that Mansur's going to be a little too athletic for Cody. I think Cody's really done good at using his athleticism to dominate the guys he has beaten, fairly in the octagon and stuff. So I think that Mansur will be too athletic for him. He's already bigger than him physically, reach-wise and physicality-wise. So I think the athleticism won't be too much. He won't be able to really get him down with the wrestling. And if it hits the ground, we know Mansur has devastating ground and pound. So I got Mansur Abdul-Malik by a first round ground and pound TKO.
What did you say, Antoine? Sorry, I didn't hear the last part. What did you say?
Oh, I said Mansur has the first round ground and pound TKO.
Antoine, I want to thank you for coming on, man. It was fun.
Don't scare me.
I'll give you credit, Marcel. I'll give you major credit next week if your boy pulls through, but I'm not sure. We got another fighter named Cody back to back. Three Codys on this card. Yeah. How many are in the UFC? Is there only three? Maybe, or Corey? No, not. I was just Cody Sandhagen. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else in Cody? Who else?
Cody Gibson.
Cody Gibson. Is there anyone else, or is that just it? Like, how are they going to put three of the four on this card?
Oh, Cody Sandhagen, but that's written with an R instead of a D.
So odd. Anyways, let's go for this fight, guys. We got Cody No Love Garbrandt. By the way, I thought it was funny how Patchy Mix has the same nickname as him. Patchy shit
Cody
the bed
Steele.
Sorry?
Cody Steele, but it's with a K.
Yeah. Let's go to this. Cody Garbrandt against Raoni Barcelos, who just fraud checked Peyton Talbot, or it's not a fraud check because he's good, Marcel, right?
Is Barcelos a fraud to you, Adam?
No, he's a good fighter.
That is not a fraud check.
The only fraud check ever was Rebellis Despanier versus Austin Lane, right? That's the only one?
Yeah, I would call that a fraud check. Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's go to this fight, guys. We got Cody coming in here as the underdog, actually. The odds are interesting. Garbrandt, Barcelos minus 170 favorite, Garbrandt plus 145 underdog. Antoine, what do you think, man?
Yeah, you're starting off with me.
Yeah. I'm giving you the tough one to go first. Go ahead.
Fuck, man.
It's a tricky one. I think it's tricky.
Because it's just, like, I get it. Like, Cody hasn't... I mean, look at who he lost to in this last fight. It's a future Hall of Famer. Davidson's still really good, even at his older age. And I know Raoni Barcelos, like, he beat Peyton Talbot in this last fight. People aren't really high on Peyton like that anymore. And we just saw Raoni go through a rough stretch of fights. I'm going to pick with my brain and not my heart or whatever. I'm going to go with Raoni Barcelos. He's been more active than Cody Garbrandt. Cody hasn't fought since UFC 300, and he's coming off a pretty bad loss from that fight. If it's on the feet, I think Raoni will be able to strike and grapple with Cody. But I do think the danger factor lies with Cody Garbrandt. I do think he can finish the fight damn near at any moment if he lands the right punch. But I think Keone can play it safe with the wrestling. We did see Cody get controlled in his last fight by the smaller man. And I do think that Keone can win this fight either on the feet or on the ground. So I was going to go with Barcelos by a decision, but I would love to see Cody get a knockout. Absolutely.
Marcel, what do you think?
Yeah, man, Cody trains with my boy Alex Perez, so it's an immediate fate for me. I'm just kidding. I hope he's watching. Yeah, I mean, that this fight sucks to pick because I can see it go both ways. It's not like I think Garbrandt can hit the switch and can knock him out. At the same time, I think Barcelos can control the fight and also has a possibility to knock Garbrandt out. If I have to pick, I would say this fight is almost dog or pass again, but I'm going with Barcelos. I know he's the favorite, but I feel more comfortable picking him. So for me, Raoni Barcelos, but I'm not sure. Far from.
Hit the button for me. I'm going to take a dog. There we go. I'll take a dog. I think Cody could win this fight, guys. Honestly, the thing is, Cody's kryptonite is knockout punchers. That's not Raoni Barcelos. I know he obviously got submitted by Davison, but Davison is dangerous on the feet and the mat. I just don't see that here with Raoni Barcelos. He's got a great ground game, but Cody's takedown defense 80%, very very good. Hard to kind of control. Again, I know what happened with Figueiredo. I mean, that's not a great look, but I think Figueiredo's a guy that is a former champion. Barcelos has never been there. Barcelos also was older. I know he looked amazing against Peyton Talbot, but I'm starting to think that's just because Peyton Talbot's not that good, especially against the guy who can take him down. I think Cody can keep this fight standing, and I think he can outstrike Barcelos and potentially hurt him and knock him out, potentially, or at least drop him. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm going to take Cody Garbrandt. What do you think?
Every time when you say I take a dog, I have to think about how much you fantasize about Luana Santos.
Oh, stop it. Slowly boxing. Yeah, I think it's going to take place in the feet too. That's why I give Cody the edge. We're both. Did we all take Ochoa? Or no, Antoine took Durden. Antoine took Durden. So Antoine took the dog. We both, Marcel and I had Ochoa. Your boy, the Peruvian guy. He always picks the Peruvian guys. This guy, including that Daniel Marcos guy, looked terrible in his last fight. Let's go to the next fight, guys. Just 3 left. We'll go through them a little quick here, but let's get through this one here. Edmen Shabazian taking on Andre Petroski, and odds for this one. Edmen is favored -200. Andre +170. Marcel, start with you.
Grappler against striker, right? We got Edmen, who's going to try to take Andre's head off early on, and then we got Andre, who has to make sure to not get taking his head off early and get to the later rounds, because Edmen's gas tank will probably hold up again. Edmen is the favorite, right? I'm picking Edmen here. I'm picking him by finish early. Listen, if he doesn't finish early, Andre will probably win a decision or get a late finish, but I think a decision then. But I'm going with Edmen, and it's maybe a stupid pick because he's not the underdog, but I'm taking Edmen by first round stoppage.
You have the same pick there, Antoine?
I got Shabazian, and I got the Golden Boy, man. I think he can get it done. Again, we're kind of betting off potential when he's still really young himself. Man, I think he's still not developing because he is approaching his 30s, but at the same time, I think he's learned from his mistakes with the gas tank and the wrestling issues. So I think he's gonna come out and really get a victory. Even if he doesn't get it done in the first round, I think he'll have good takedown defense, get back up to his feet. He's the way younger guy in this fight. I think he's more athletic, to more dexterity in his movement. So I think that Edmen Shabazian can get this done either with the first round KO or a decision.
All right, hit the button for you. I'm taking a dog. I'm going with Petroski. I know. I shouldn't, right? But I just think Edmen's takedown defense, his ground game is really bad. I don't think it's ever, gotten better. His cardio is bad too. So he could knock out Andre in the first round, like you guys are saying, and that's why he's -200. I just don't know. I mean, I think that if he can't, Andre wins this fight. Andre's looked pretty good lately too. He's grinding these fights out, not impressively, but he's getting the job done against some decent opposition, and he has a lot of experience down in the UFC. And a pretty good record, guys, too. 8-2. I mean, that's solid, so he gets the job done. Edmen's super inconsistent, too. He's 3-5 over his last 8 fights. Not great. Obviously, he's fought better competition, but
Adam,
I don't know. The guys he's beaten are not great either. What are you going to say?
You're absolutely wrong about this fight, and I'll tell you why. Because Zach is in the chat, and he's not taking blindly Andre Petroski. Because
Zach, are you taking Petroski? Tell us right now. Zach is. He's going to take him. Petroski's takedown percentage is fantastic. What is it? It's takedown percentage, 54% accuracy. It's really high. It's really high. I think he could wrestle this fight. I mean, does he finish him late? Imagine he finishes Edmen by submission third round. I think that's possible.
I do like what Zach said, though, because we have seen Andre slow down in the past, and also with the Brian Battle fight. That was a little bit ago, but still, we have seen him slow down before.
Yeah, that was a while ago. But you're right. I mean, he doesn't have the best cardio, and his chin's not great. His durability is questionable, but I'm still going to take him. I'm going to take a dog. So we have a bunch of dogs in this card, just not consensus. We don't have consensus dogs, unfortunately, but we got some random dogs. All right, 2 more fights. Rose and Emma Yunus taking on Miranda Maverick, co-main event. Odds for this one: Rose minus 265, Miranda plus 225. I'm taking Rose. Levels. By the way, Zach's taking Petrovsky 29-28. There you go, Zach. Good boy. No, but as far as this fight goes, yeah, I'm taking Rose. Levels. Like, she's fought way better competition, successful against way better competition. She's just the better fighter. Miranda's going to have to take her down and hold her to win the fight. She's obviously done that a lot in the UFC. She's won 4 straight fights, but I don't know, man. Like, she's just very one-dimensional to me. Like, no striking really whatsoever, in my opinion anyways. Like, the Horth fight was not a great look. I don't think, I know I picked Horth on this card earlier, but like, she barely squeezed out that win. It wasn't impressive. Rose is still fighting a league competition every fight. She's competitive every fight against Aaron. She won the first 2 rounds, then ended up losing the last 3 and lost. Pretty much beat the shit out of Tracy Cortez. He-Boss. Even competitive with like Manon. So I'm taking Rose. I think she wins the decision probably. I don't think she knocks Miranda out or submits her, but I'll take her by decision. I really like Rose in this fight. What do you guys think?
Only the elites are going to beat Rose, I think, at flyweight. And I think Rose beats most girls still at flyweight. She made easy work of Tracy Cortez. I think she will also win against Maverick. Won't be anything spectacular, but she will win. I think 30-27, Rose Namajunas.
And you, Antoine, same pick?
Yeah, man, I got Rose Namajunas as well. Same with what you said. 2-time champion, future Hall of Famer in a whole different stratosphere than Miranda Maverick.
There you go. By the way, we should bring this up. They do train together.
Yeah.
It's crazy they match them up with each other. But the thing is, like, they beat each other up in practice for free. So they're getting paid for this. Although, they're going to throw a little bit harder probably than in sparring. I think it's something to keep in mind. But I think, overall, this fight probably goes the distance. I don't see someone getting brutally knocked out. So they'll be friends after. And, maybe they'll share a bonus. I don't think so, though. But maybe they'll share fight of the night. I doubt it. Miranda's going to try to shoot takedowns. She won't get them, and Rose is going to piece her up on the feet. I think that's how the fight goes. So let's go to the event here, guys. We have, this is a hell of a fight. And I remember when we heard about this fight, I messaged you, Antoine, and you were, like, super fucking pumped. Kamaru Usman taking on Joaquin Buckley. I love this fight. And, personally, I think Kamaru Usman is one of the best fighters of all time. I really think so. He's an incredible fighter. Maybe not anymore, but he won 15 fights in a row. He's amazing. And he could have won 16, but he got head kicked by Leon with a minute left. And it hasn't gone well since then. But I love Kamaru Usman. I'm not picking him here, though. I'm taking Joaquin Buckley. And the reason is because Joaquin's way more active as of late. Joaquin's a lot younger. And Joaquin's looked amazing at welterweight. Like, he really has. He's won 6 straight fights in the division. Hasn't shown many flaws, taken out a little bit by Colby, but managed to, like, reverse position, get it back up. Done a shitload of damage. Huge knockout power. I've loved the guy ever since he came onto the UFC and had that crazy knockout win over what's the guy's name now?
That
was incredible. He's just a really good fighter. But he has there's been fights where he hasn't like shined like Lesio De Chirico knocked him out. Like it happens. So he's hittable. I just don't know if Usman's got the guy that has the knockout power to beat him, because I think that was how we would beat him. I just don't see Usman being able to like wrestle to win this fight over 5 rounds. I think it'll be difficult to do at his age, with all the injuries Usman's dealt with. I'm not going to overthink it. I like Buckley here. I've liked him since the fight was announced. It's kind of a passing of the guard, in my opinion. I think Buckley, he might stop Usman, to be honest with you guys. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. because that's generally how he wins his fights. But mad respect to Kamaru. I mean, the guy's a fucking dog, and I love him. I think he's an amazing fighter. But I have to go with Buckley. Just younger guy, more momentum. Antoine, you agree with me, or am I crazy?
Man, like when it was announced, I really was perplexed about the decision I was going to make. But for me, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet too. I do got Joaquin Buckley to win this fight via decision. I think just the youth alone can win him the fight. He's really athletic. He has a great gas tank himself, similar to Usman. If Usman does try to wrestle, Joaquin has great anti-wrestling. We've seen that in the Albert Uriah fight. We saw that in the Colby Cummings fight. Of course, Colby's older. But I thought the Albert Uriah fight really showed that he does have the ability to stuff to take down some high level wrestlers and straight up, Dagestani Russians and stuff like that. So I think that Joaquin's really hitting his prime right now. He really showed he was down for big things when he got that head kick over against the Sun guy like that. And I think that this is his moment. I think if he knocks Usman out, he's gonna get a title shot more than likely. And I think him versus Jack Della Maddalena is a great fight. And it's just cool to see him make it this far, like he just did it step by step. Like when he knocked out Wonder Boy like that, that's when I definitely thought he had hit another level for sure. Just the fact he knocked him out, a high level striker like that. So I got Joaquin Buckley to win this fight via decision. I still think Usman's extremely tough, has a lot of experience too, but I think Buckley's going to be faster and more athletic in this fight.
Marcel, what do you think?
So Antoine was really positive. I'm going to kind of get that completely down, and I'm so sorry for it because I sound like an absolute annoying guy here. But man, do you know when you have a Lego piece on the ground and you step on it? That's how I feel about this main event.
Why?
And I will tell you why. Because Kamaru Usman would absolutely have destroyed Joaquin Buckley 3 years ago. And now we're at the time that I think that Usman isn't going to be any better, that I have to fade Usman. And I don't think Buckley is that amazing, but he's going to win this fight, I'm still not on that Buckley hype train, and Adam knows that, and Antoine, that as well, I think.
But why, though? He's good, man.
Yeah, that's okay if you think that. I still think he's not that amazing. I mean,
he fucking wiped the floor with your boy Nur Sultan. He wiped the floor with him.
Yeah, he did. And a very good win, nothing to say against. And his win over Thompson, amazing knockout. But don't forget to mention the cards going into the third round, 2-0 Thompson, 2-0 Buckley, 1-1. So it was going either way at that moment, The Colby fight, he got a good win, he got the finish because Colby was damaged, which he inflicted, of course. So, I mean, well done. I still don't feel it, man. Sometimes you have by fighters, when you see them fight, you think like, yeah, fuck, this guy is going to do great things. And with Buckley, I have something like he's decent, but I don't see him making a title run, He's going to win against Kamaru Usman. I think he gets him at the right time, 100%, So for me, Buckley, maybe a late finish, if not a decision. But he's going to win the fight for sure. So I'm picking Buckley here. I see Adam is really upset with me. I don't give a shit, Adam. But I'm just being honest.
I'm not. I just tweeted the podcast again. That's right. It's all good.
But yeah,
you guys can retweet that after the show if you don't.
For
mind.
sure.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm just being honest here. I just don't see it yet, and maybe I'm blind. We'll see. Maybe I don't see it well. It wouldn't be the first time I don't see it well. So I mean, maybe that's.
What? Maybe you need a pair of these, Marcel. Maybe this is what you need. A pair of
no,
these
thank you. I'm already ugly enough, Adam.
Become a four eyes. Become a four eyes fan. No, I think Buckley wins. Okay, let me do the recap here. Start with the first fight. We all took Horth. Marcel and I took Rowe as a dog. Antoine took Loosa. We all took Simone. Antoine took Durden as a dog. Marcel and I took Ochoa. We all took Wellmaker. We all took Chiesa. We all took Bellato. We all took C. Marcel took Brundage. I took Mansur, so did Antoine. I took Cody. Both of you guys took Raoni. I took Ange. Both of you guys took Edmen. We all took Rose. We all took Buckley. So, we had a bunch of, dogs, but no consensus dogs. Although Marcel, I will count ours, Marcel, with Phil Rowe, the Fresh Prince, but your boy, who you're also biased towards. But
no, I'm just honest.
me get this comment. Adam, who'd you pick if Buckley fights Gary? I think they should do the Buck versus Cuck fight. You like that one, guys? You like Buck versus Cuck? I think it's fun.
He asked who you pick. Don't try to win time. Who do
Probably
you pick?
Gary by decision. Probably Gary by decision. I'm being like Dana White. Just Linnae, what did he say? Sorry, Linnae. It says the question again, Marcel. Like even though everyone heard it pretty clearly last night, that happened too. I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah,
the whole thing with Tom, and they were trying to trick Dana into saying the fight was done. It was kind of weird to me. Buck KO's Cuck. I like that.
I do think that that's the fight we were gonna find out how good he really is. He was gonna fight someone around the same age bracket as him. Colby Covington, like Stephen Thompson and Usman are all older. He was gonna fight someone who has great footwork, has great grappling too, great striking as well. Really another third generation fighter. And I think that's when we were gonna find out if Joaquin was really ready for that next step up or not. So yeah, man, but I do think that he has a bright future regardless what happens in this fight. It's going to be a massive confidence builder for him, like the whole win streak has been, really. But I do see what Marcel's talking about. I was going to say, I like it that he's like that. I like that, not that it's hard to impress, because he does get flowers, of course, when he feels like the fighter has deserved. So I just like it. So, even when Marcel gets, that stamp of approval, then it's gonna be oh shit, now we know he's really he's like that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even if of course Marcel gives him credit or anyone else really. I do think that Joaquin, it's a lot of people that he still needs to prove himself to. Even with this main event, like I said, I think that it's gonna be because he's older, stuff like that. I think the Ian Gary fight, he really needed that to show he could beat a younger guy with all this damn near the same skill set that Buckley has, minus the power really. But yeah, I think that Buckley and Gary is going to be a great fight when it does happen. I didn't really have a pick for that when it was made. I am really high on Ian Gary, though. I will say that I'm extremely high on Ian Machado Gary.
Yeah, no, he's damn good. He's very good. I'm just gonna this last question. It's not a question; it's a comment. I translated this. You know what this means, Marcel?
No.
I thought it meant that you had your period, but no, it means you're a great journalist. So there you go.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Pituco. Thank you.
Pituco. There you go, Marcel. Yeah, you're damn right he is. I don't care. I'm gonna be honest. I was thinking about should we do the PFL preview. I'm gonna say no, but I'll give you an answer on this one. I'm taking your boy Jesus Pinedo. I'm definitely taking your boy. So there we go. But I don't. Are you guys gonna watch this card? I mean, maybe, but I don't really care. Anyways, I want to get in the podcast. We're at 10 o'clock. I haven't eaten any dinner, so I want to get out of here, guys. But
or your poor thing.
I'm fucking starving, dude. I've been out all day. I'm so hungry. And tomorrow my daughter's coming over, so it's gonna be a long, long day. But I'm here with you guys. I don't know if Antoine's still here. He might have fell off, but by the way, thank you, Seamus. Appreciate it. Want to give Antoine some flowers though for coming on. Appreciate the breakdown, brother. I don't know. I think he might have lost connection.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right at the end. But the image there is a great preview of the card we're about to see, Marcel. There he is.
There he is.
So there we go. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks again.
I'm good. Yeah, my bad. I got a phone call.
You're good. We're done anyway, so it's perfect timing. Follow Antoine on Twitter. And Marcel, obviously follow him on Twitter, Instagram. Appreciate you guys. We're gonna be back next Sunday. We'll recap this card and we'll preview UFC Baku. So talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend, everyone, and thanks again, Antoine, for joining us. And we'll see you guys soon.